Chapter 23. Kiss. 4. Luck. Yoon POV. King. The word itself radiates power and dominance. The word tells that the one who owns this title is someone you should not mess with. Every king achieved their title. Everyone called as king deserves our respect and loyalty. They deserve our selfless sacrifice as they also serve us. And this custom wasn't created by humans. It's how nature guided us, and we followed on its way, not knowing whether we are doing right or not, should we take its guidance or not. Beast the king nature selected, the one who is the sign of courage and leadership, but also death and attitude. It's impossible to get out of his claw, but he was known for hunting his own prey, not taking a bite from a creature he didn't kill. Nature is bad and dangerous, but the evolution of nature, humans, is worse. And worsening every second. Humans can be king, but they can never be a beast. They can't control themselves. If they see someone having something better than them, they will go head over heels to have a taste even when they can hunt. And I am living with such a king, who rules everything and everybody, but will never be able to rule my heart. Who snatched my life, happiness and freedom just because he can. Just because he wants to. Days are passing, and I am getting used to his ununderstandable whims, him being in control. If I say things aren't settling down between us, then it will be a lie. We fight less than usual. He didn't actually get angry after that fish incident, and I am not planning to make him ever again if possible. I just wish he forgets the feeling of anger. He is scary when angry, far more scary than the faces I got nightmares of or the people whose thoughts can make my body shudder. I kept a hand above my heart, trying to calm it down, which is racing like a bullet train after remembering his angry face. Those red eyes, clenched jaw, and fisted hands make him no less than a devil from hell. I won't be shocked if he is the reincarnation of a devil. He has all 7 sins of the princes of hell, but what's worse is he only has those sins. Any sign which reflects someone as human doesn't exist in him. Here we go. I turned around to see Taewang smiling brightly while keeping the plates in our places. The heart I was successful in calming down has boosted its speed again with the sudden confrontation with my so-called husband. My habit of living in my head has increased noticeably. It's God's grace that Taewang is quite busy with his work these days. Otherwise, there will be consequences of not giving him full attention, which I promised. He settled down beside me with the same smile, as these days he doesn't force me to sit on the head chair, but is now eager to sit in the middle beside me, leaving his throne. I don't know what he tries to show by this act, that he can leave his throne, which he is so proud of, for me, or that he will always be there to cage me and keep me beside him even when he has lost something precious. Fear dried my throat as I gulped hard, not liking either of the interpretations my mind did. Because no matter what the reason behind this act, good, bad, cunning, innocent, it clearly tells one thing, that the man beside me isn't eager to release me from his cage ever. He can sacrifice his ego, he can throw away his achievements, but isn't ready to bear a meter of distance from me. I would be the luckiest girl alive after getting so much love and attention, but I am cursed because I am getting the attention and love from the wrong person, from the person I don't love, the one I wish every second that he forgets me, from whom I just want to run away so far that even his thoughts won't be able to touch me. I flinched from the sudden contact of cold lips on my warm knuckles, swallowing the urge to pull back my hand. I looked at him, whose smile turned into a smirk. I hope no one else other than me is keeping my queen's mind engaged. His eyes were loving, but his voice held authority. Thinking about me, baby girl? Yes. His dark expression lightened a little as I balled my other hand, not wanting to flinch when he planted another kiss on the same place and started caressing it. You know, in ancient times there used to be a law, he said as he poured some juice into glasses. If a man other than the king looked at the queen, he used to be executed publicly. Kings only have one thing of their own, and they don't like to share it. He kissed my forehead with a smile as my heart raced, understanding the meaning behind his words. I know who he is pinning, and I also know he will not think twice before snatching my safe place, my Kai, from me. You don't have to do any such thing, I said, looking at him, who was busy with breakfast like a few seconds ago he didn't threaten me. I don't want to, he said, bringing the bite near my mouth. Feeding me whenever possible became another habit of his these days. I swear whoever is giving these advices to him, I want to carve out his brain and wash it so it can't produce any of these ridiculous ideas again. But I will if I have to. I suppress the urge to take Kai's side, nodding my head obediently like a good little wife. These days I understand quite easily when to make a stand and when to shut up and obey. He can't bear me loving someone else. It's one of the biggest triggers for him. It doesn't matter if those things are breathing or not, if they actually have the ability to snatch someone's love or not, but if I love something other than him, he wants it out of my life. His eyes tell everything he refused to voice, every threat he suppressed inside, but I know for sure he is just fishing for a chance, just one mistake from my side, so he can get a reason to throw my last hope, my first love, and my savior from my life. I almost jumped when his not-so-dark but cold voice brought me back to the dining room from my horrible future. Nice. I stuttered. I wasn't ready for a question. Hell, I didn't even know what he asked. I just hope I wouldn't have pissed him off early in the morning, not eventually the day he made the breakfast for me with his own hands. It will be delicious if you concentrate on what you are eating. He almost growled as his hold on my palm tightened. I am sorry, I said, eyeing the egg rolls he cooked for me. What a coincidence. I never told him about my food preference, but every time he gets something that I love just to remind me I can't anymore. Even when I don't love him, I can't love anything else. Forbidden desires, he says. You are not. He said, cutting a bigger part of the roll and leading it to my mouth as his cold voice is threatening my heart. But you will be very sorry if you don't stop ignoring me. I swallowed. Not because the food in my mouth was swallowable, but because I couldn't absorb his words without giving a reaction. This wasn't his threat. It was the ultimatum. It was his last warning. I can feel how much I stretch the tolerance of an impatient person. I can feel that if he snaps now, not only me but every person and everything which claim a place in my heart will suffer. Maybe he will fetch every last thing and destroy them to the limit that my heart and soul will be empty and sorrowful. Taewang, I tried giving an excuse, only for him to put his finger on my lips. Shoo, baby, he said, leaning close, sniffing my scent. I made breakfast with so much love. Kissing my cheeks, he backed away, bringing juice near my mouth. You should have my love before it turns cold. Goosebumps spread over me as my mind instantly decoded his puzzled words. Does he love me? Is this how love feels? Well, I am not sure if love is this. Then what was that, which Kai claims as love? What was that because of which he was eager to do anything for me? Wasn't that love? The selfless feeling? I always felt so unrelatable but real from the love stories I read. They say love is both pain and happiness, pleasure but sacrifice, God's gift but curse. But when I was with Kai, it was never like that. It was always happiness, pleasure, and God's gift. I never felt an inch of pain. I never had to sacrifice anything to make myself deserve him. He always adores me the way I am. You are that precious gem for whose protection God created me. If that's not love, then what can be? If he isn't my lover, then who can? It's love, so it belongs to me. Taewang's words echoed inside my head. My heart raced even with the memory. I sighed, looking at the pond, where colorful fishes swimming carefree. They were the ones who made me realize I can't keep anybody in my heart anymore, and even if I can, I am not allowed to express it. The only person I am allowed to express my love to is the one I will never love. I can only hate him. My soul despises him for destroying everything, for turning my life even worse than before, for making sure I don't dare to hope again, as he made me realize that no matter how long the day is, it will end one day and night will again claim. Darkness will surround me, and I won't be able to run from it. Just like I can't run from him. But at least Taewang cares for me. I tried consoling myself, remembering how he ordered to make an aquarium covering the whole wall in the living room just for me. Can things replace love? My heart asked, making it hard for me to accept my reality, to make myself strong enough to smile in front of him in the evening. Will you be happier with the things he can give than with love? This time I can't stop tears to show their presence in my eyes. Shaking my head, I looked away, not wanting to cry, because if I did, I wouldn't be able to stop myself. Every tear I suppressed from the last week, every scream, curse, and truth I swallowed, would be out. And I will be stripped of the facade of strength, leaving me broken again. And you don't want to end your day off like this, I murmured, looking at the beautiful garden where sunlight is letting it glow, making it look magical. The chiming sound of birds and insects, the soft grass beneath my feet, and the love of Mother Nature in the form of flowers can make my day, can calm my heart even in the worst conditions. Maybe that's the reason my legs voluntarily led me here, when I got a free day from my classes. I smiled knowing Mother Nature is the same, even in the darkest of places. Looking at the fish, I smiled without any envy of their freedom. Eventually, they helped me to understand Taewang a bit. They were the first step in this journey. But in another second, I flinched as my smile was replaced by a terrified expression. My calm heart started racing again as I closed my eyes tightly. I wanted to believe that it was him. I wanted to console my terrified heart that nobody could even look at me. Touching is another thing, but my fear ceased any ability to think. All I could do was shiver under the touch. Did I scare my baby? His voice made me feel relieved as I relaxed under his arms. The horrible possibilities of my mind started to fade away as I never felt so safe inside his arms. Today it isn't the cage, but my safe place. Clearing my throat, I answered him. I wasn't expecting you. You should always expect me. No one else can touch my queen. He said, pecking my shoulder. There was a pinch of possessiveness in his tone. I turned around in his arms, wanting to look at him and clear all the doubts lingering on the side of my mind. I smiled, making him smile too. He is right though. He will cut any hand that dared to touch me. Somehow that thought made me feel even safer than frightened. I don't know if I should be glad or afraid of this change. Thinking about your safety doesn't make you cruel, right? Tucking back strands of hair, he smiled. You look like a goddess with all the nature surrounding you. He pulled me in his embrace. All eternal and immortal. Unreachable for a normal human like me. Pecking my hair, he chinned my head. I'm blessed to have you in my life. You snatched me. Releasing a deep sigh, I sealed my mouth to not voice the words of my head. He is in a good mood, and it would be stupid to trigger him right now. In the end, he is in charge and can do whatever he wanted with me. Plastering a fake smile and hoping he won't ask something I don't want to answer, I backed away from the hug softly, not wanting to offend him in any way possible. I thought you were in the office. He smiled brightly, taking my hand and kissing its knuckles. Why are you acting like you aren't the one who sent me to the office? Well, new habits aren't just for him, as been his better half, he calls me. I have to build a few habits too, and one of them is bidding him goodbye at the door and waiting for him like a good wife in the evening. Well, not that I always follow the latter one, but most of the time he drags me to the main door and pecks my cheek before promising me that he will return soon. I mean, what are you doing here? I changed the words to make him understand. This is my home. I can be here whenever I want. You have a problem, he said, raising his brows. You know what I mean, I said, trying to hide my irritation at his childish joke. What does he think of me as a child, or what? He can scare from his wordplay. My queen is angry with me. He cupped my cheeks, turning my face towards him. I was just messing around. He smiled so brightly like he disclosed the most important secret while I was just glaring at him. You know today I have an important meeting? He asked as every ounce of playfulness vanished from his face. I nodded, daring to not look away. Jun Appa told me yesterday that's why he can't take my lectures today. So I came here to meet my lucky charm. I saw you. Now nothing can stop me from proving myself. He kissed my forehead before wrapping his hand around my waist. I frowned, looking at his bright face. What does it mean? Won't my lady luck smile for me? He said brightly, as a spark of eagerness and excitement was glowing on his face with sunlight. Biting inside my mouth, I smiled, facing my biggest reason for sorrow, trying my best to make it as little fake as possible. But it faded when Taewang shook his head like a kid before looking at me innocently. Not made up. I want the smile which my uni used to give me, which bloomed my heart and made me the luckiest person alive. His voice converted the words that escaped from his mouth into feeling, into his love. This time my lips smiled in accord, while my heart was beating from all the love he is showering from his eyes, all the affection his face shows when a genuine smile craved on my lips. Love which is sinful for me. Love which is breaking me. Love which is making me a traitor. Love which you don't deserve. My heart pinched the moment my head remembered his words. Blinking my eyes, I looked at the person in front of me to realize how truthful his words are. What I did, not just to me but to him too. How I broke both of us. How I destroyed 3 lives just in a month. My smile faded, realizing the person in front of me was once an angel. Once he used to love me like the light. But I extinguished his light. I forced him to become a devil. I made him dark. I need to force my queen for everything. His soft voice dropped me back in front of him. His one hand was wiping the tear unknowingly escaped. I asked for a real smile, not tears. I bowed down, not knowing what was coming for me, but he lifted my face, forcing me to look at him. Now you will pay for it from your... He glared at me, but it didn't scare me. The darkness in his eyes was replaced with mischievousness. From your laughter. Before I can take his words and my mind can process it, my body processed something else. The dominating need to laugh because of his touch on my waist. Stop, I said between heavy breaths, my laughter which is echoing around the garden. As my hand went towards his to stop them. No, don't. I tried again, but his hands worked faster, making me laugh harder, his one hand tickling me while the other held my waist, so I couldn't escape. Why? He asked while his touch continued making me laugh. You wanna cry, huh? Now I will make you cry. I am sorry, I said in a cracked voice as he worked faster. I won't do it again. I was wiggling harder, and my laughter became louder, my vision blurry, and my stomach started aching because of an unexpected attack on its muscles. No, sorry. He smiled brightly as I hugged my stomach. My knees became weak, and his hand was the only thing which is preventing me from dropping on the soft grass. Now cry. Tears started dropping from my eyes, and for the first time it doesn't contain regret, guilt, or pain. They don't recite the story of fear, misery, and punishments. Tears of nothingness started falling from my eyes, tears of no emotions, but present sensation. But isn't it better for a few things to stay in the present? Don't taint our past and destroy our future. Stop, I command, unable to take it anymore. Not anymore. And to my surprise, he obeyed. Stepping back, he bowed dramatically. As my queen commands. A smile escaped my lips looking at him, and he mirrored me, showing the widest smile I could ever see. Getting straight, he stepped towards me as I tried to hide my stomach protectively. He giggled before cupping my cheeks and staring into my eyes with his black-brown eyes, which were shining with the presence of happiness I started forgetting can reside inside them. Pulling me forward, he kissed my forehead so softly like his lips could hurt me. Getting back, he wiped the tear I didn't notice on my cheeks. Caressing my cheeks, he looked at me like he wanted to say something. Words are screaming from his eyes as he isn't allowing them from his mouth. But what, I don't know. I am unable to read his orbs, rich with emotions right now. Then suddenly he looked away as his posture stiffened noticeably. Pecking my forehead again, he said. Only tears I ever wanted in your eyes are tears of happiness. I stared at him, not knowing what to feel. His voice screamed sincerity while his aura was reviving darkness. Don't cry again, okay? I nodded, not knowing what to say. You should go. He nodded while glancing at his watch, which was worth more than my whole wardrobe in my house. Won't you wish me luck? Nodding, I said, coating my voice with as much warmth as I could. Best of luck. But he'd get another second, leaning closer. Not like that, baby. Before his voice could reach my ears, his lips crashed on mine. Moving softly like this time they wanted to confess his love rather than his ownership. My brain felt as if my body refused to struggle for the kiss, which isn't just connecting us, but telling something to my heart which I can't understand. A kiss that doesn't have any tongue, any anger, which is taking my breath, but replacing it with something more pure. Thanks for the wishes, baby. Getting out of the trance, I looked at him, who was smiling shyly. Take care, I will be back soon. Pecking my cheek, he turned on his heels and moved towards the mansion as I froze in my place with fingers on my lips. Why didn't I struggle this time? Why did I let him do it? Am I giving up on Kai? Our love? Is he taking the place of Kai? Is he trying to snatch my Kai from the only place I can keep him right now? Caressing my heart, which squeezed painfully just by the thought, I mumbled, "Nobody can take your place." Glaring at the fading figure, I continued, "I won't let anybody."
Taewang's POV. A laugh echoed around the cabin looking at her irritated face, who was trying to ditch her annoying friend, who was jumping like a monkey while she was packing her stuff. Well, her fault, why she chose such an annoying person as a friend. Who is the reason for our difference? I mumbled while caressing the screen of the laptop, when my baby girl, the love of my life, Minho smiled when that loser dramatically bowed down in front of her before offering a hand. The glow in her face, the happiness in her eyes makes my blood boil with possessiveness. Her eyes never shine like that because of me, no matter what I do. As she exits the classroom, the scene changes to the canteen where she is not looking exhausted from class anymore but full of energy to fight for a single bite of sandwich. I laughed again, looking at her so stress-free and childish. I paused the videos as her today's laugh is playing in my ears. If sound has a taste, her laugh can be sweeter than honey. Unknowingly smile formed on my lips. I think I should order Jack for one of those clips too. But in another second I groaned, realizing he is busy with the work I gave him last week. That clumsy man isn't able to find out her videos other than some from the last years of high school. The urge to see my small baby giggling and jumping around the corridors of school and the playground didn't settle from the moment my eyes set on a small girl playing in the park a week ago. I swear if he wasn't the best hacker in the country after Hyung, I would have buried him alive for the delay. But you can't do that. My hands fisted with the thought of relying on him, but I can't ask Hyung. He will give me the worst death possible if he gets the slightest hint. He wasn't the happiest person when he got to know about my marriage, nor did he make any efforts to hide his disappointment. I sighed, he is right at his points too. But sometimes it's not about what we can have, but what we need. And I need you, I said, looking at my life, framed beside my laptop, smiling brighter than ever. Forever. I shot my head from the sudden knock on the office door. The lovesick man inside me suddenly died as my posture stiffened and my smile vanished from my face like it was never there. Come in. My guards are on as my schedule for the day is done. All the meetings are over, and because of my baby, I nailed the most important meeting of my life. There was no one I was expecting, and from my past experiences, I don't go well with surprises. They just make things worse. But one of those surprises makes Yun yours. My lips can't help but express physically how my heart bloomed with the thought. But the moment the door moved to reveal the person behind it, my lips pressed in a thin line as my hands turned into a softball, ready for anything and everything which can happen. But my body relaxed, looking at the person who entered with silent steps. Ah, Hyung, you have such a long life. I was thinking about you, I said, relieved with Minho Hyung's presence. How was your tour? I asked only to get a tired look from Minho Hyung. Like always. He said, settling down in front of me while throwing a file on the table. Dad wants your signature on this. Missing me, I see, I smirked as he cracked a few bones in his neck. I can bet he is going to sleep almost half a day today. I never expected you used to do so much work. I nodded, knowing that's all I can get from him as a compliment. Well, I heard you nailed it today. I huffed, annoyed. That shorty can't digest one thing. I wanted to tell you that. Hyung shook his head slowly, like so done with us. How was their face? We are getting along well, I said, opening the file only to get a curt nod and unsatisfying look on his face. While my mind went to the meeting room where Jihoon and Jun Hyung patted my shoulders with a genuine smile on their faces, maybe I could trust them. Good to hear. He said, leaning on the chair and closing his eyes. I signed the file, pushing it towards him, knowing he needed rest before someone bumped into him and regretted his life. Here you go. He opened his eyes, looking at the file before glaring at me with his deep eyes. You didn't read it? I don't have to. I trust you. Words are on the tip of my tongue, waiting to blurt out, but I swallowed them back, not wanting to be the first victim of his anger. "I think you do," he said, gritting his teeth. "You are a king now and you are the one who made me." I looked at his dark glare, knowing I shouldn't have interrupted, but continued gulping hard, as I just called misery. "A bit more won't kill me, right? Or that's what I thought. Whoever I am, is because of you, and I felt like being ungrateful by doubting you people." I looked at him hopefully. His gaze didn't soften but darkened. His glare hardened. His hands on the table fisted, dead pale, like begging him to throw me a punch. But what shattered my hope was his mocking smirk. "Who am I kidding? I already knew this would happen, it's just this time my emotions took over my mind. Playing with your Hyung, I see. Training room tomorrow at 4. His voice was nothing but pure ice. Pushing the file towards me, he stood up while every ounce of tiredness was replaced by rage in his eyes. "Bring it when you come tomorrow. I think you need to remember something." I gulped, knowing tomorrow's training would be nothing less than hell. "For how long?" My words halted his storming steps as he looked at me with his burning eyes, like wanting to turn me into ashes. "Until it isn't over." He stormed out, banging the door closed. Sighing heavily, I opened the file, knowing I messed up a long time. This evening could have ended far too nicely than it did. But the same question is buzzing in my head, whose answer I can't find in almost a decade. What's so wrong with trust?
Author POV. Trust. Such a small word, but it can make or break a person. It can be the reason you are standing, or it can be the reason you can never stand again. Depends on who you trust. Just like love, trust also gives pain to a person who is in its spell. Taewang loved too hard and trusted too much. He loved the wrong person. Did he also trust the wrong people?